everybody had plans anyway. That's how good weekends usually start. One message in the group chat, 3 late replies, somebody sending a blurry food picture for no reason. Classic beginning, honestly. We met near the station around 2. Everybody dressed comfortably, like nobody was trying too hard today. Best kind of mood. The weather couldn't decide what season it wanted to be. Warm sunlight, cold wind, clouds moving too fast. You bought iced coffee, then immediately complained your hands were freezing. Strong planning skills. We walked around without choosing anywhere specific. Convenience store first, then bookstore, then some tiny alley with plants everywhere. At one point we sat near the river, doing absolutely nothing productive, watching bikes pass by, listening to dogs bark at invisible enemies. One friend started talking about quitting social media forever, still posted 3 stories that same night. Incredible consistency. As evening got closer, the whole city changed color slowly. Buildings turning orange, street lights waking up one by one. Music leaking from open restaurant doors. You said days like this disappeared too fast. Nobody answered immediately, because everybody agreed. The funny thing about good weekends is nothing huge usually happens. No movie moments, no life-changing conversations. Just people you like walking slowly through ordinary places. And somehow that becomes the memory later. I bought coffee I absolutely didn't need again, the expensive kind too. Now I'm standing at the bus stop, pretending it was a responsible decision. Morning air feels weirdly nice today. Not dramatic nice, just enough sunlight, enough breeze, enough quiet. Somebody's playing music from their phone too loudly nearby. Tiny speaker fighting for its life, honestly. A student across from me keeps yawning every 10 seconds. A woman walks past holding flowers, and suddenly the whole street feels softer somehow. You ever notice how small things change the mood of a day? Not huge events, just tiny details. Coffee too warm to drink yet, a song hitting at the right moment, getting green lights while walking, stuff like that. The bus is late again. Nobody even looks surprised anymore. Honestly, kinda comforting, like we all silently agreed, yeah, this happens. You texted, already outside. I sent a picture of the sky instead, felt easier somehow. Cars move slowly through the intersection, sunlight bouncing off windows, people carrying bags in half-finished mornings. The city's fully awake now, but I still feel slightly disconnected from it. Not lonely exactly, just drifting a little. The coffee finally cools enough to drink. Still overpriced, still worth it. And while the bus slowly approaches, I suddenly think, maybe days don't need to become special. Maybe feeling okay for a few minutes is already enough sometimes. The weather made everybody kinder today, or maybe I imagined it. The strangers held doors longer, cashiers sounded less tired. Even traffic felt calmer somehow. The sunlight looked expensive this afternoon, like one of those fake movie versions of real life. You showed up wearing headphones around your neck, hair still dressing up ever does. We walk through streets full of open windows, people cooking, people cleaning, people playing old music too loudly. Weekend city soundtrack, a little kid rode past us on a tiny bicycle, completely fearless. Honestly inspiring behavior. You kept stopping to look at random things, cats near alleyways, tiny bakeries, plants growing through concrete cracks. You notice small things more than anyone. I know, I like that about you. Around sunset, we bought drinks from a convenience store, sat near the river watching light move across buildings. The whole sky turned orange slowly, like the city was trying to soften itself before night arrived. Nobody talked much for a while. Cars passing, bikes clicking past, water moving quietly underneath the bridge. Some moments don't need conversation, they already know what they are before leaving. You looked at the sky one last time and said, we should go outside more often. Honestly, probably true. Two, three. Nobody checked the time once today. That's probably why it felt so good. No schedules, no alarms, no pretending we had somewhere important to be. Just sunlight and movement. We drove with the windows down all afternoon. Music too loud sometimes, too quiet other times. Perfectly inconsistent. You kept changing songs halfway through. Attention span powered by chaos, honestly. The road near the river was packed with people walking, couples, families, someone rollerblading with dangerous confidence. Weekend scenes everywhere. We stopped at a convenience store around 4. Bought snacks we absolutely didn't need. You picked grape candy entirely because the packaging looked nostalgic. Strong decision making. Outside, the sky kept getting brighter before sunset. Clouds turning orange slowly, streetlights waking up one by one. Warm air moving through the parking lot. You leaned against the car and said, why can't weekdays feel like this? Honestly, no one knows. The music kept playing softly through the open windows, and for a while, everything felt unbelievably simple. In the best possible way. The coffee got cold first. Not the conversation, just the coffee. We were sitting near the back of the cafe, where the sunlight barely reached, and somebody kept opening the door every 30 seconds. Cold air moving through the room, like the weather couldn't decide what month it was. He kept drawing random shapes on napkins, triangles, clouds, one terrible cat, somehow honestly impressive. Outside, people crossed the street carrying weekend around with them, slow walking, hands in pockets, no real urgency anywhere. Best kind of city mood. You asked if I'd ever move away from here. I said maybe, but I don't think I meant it. There's something comforting about recognizing convenience store lights at night, or knowing which streets smell like bread in the morning. Tiny things, tiny reasons people stay. The music inside the cafe skipped for a second. Nobody reacted, like everybody secretly liked imperfections more anyway. Your coffee sat untouched too long, mine disappeared immediately. Some things never change, honestly. Around sunset, the whole window turned orange suddenly, and everybody inside looked softer. Even the guy aggressively typing on his laptop. You looked outside for a while, then quietly said, "Days like this make me feel normal again." Didn't know exactly what that meant, but somehow I understood it immediately. The park was full of dogs today. Big dogs, tiny dogs. One dog wearing shoes for some reason. Everybody looked happy, honestly. The weather probably helped. Sunlight through trees, cold drinks, sweating on benches, music playing quietly from portable speakers. Weekend city starter pack, you bought iced coffee, then immediately forgot where you placed it. Spent 10 minutes searching, it was beside you the whole time. Incredible awareness, honestly. We stayed near the grass for most of the afternoon, watching strangers exist peacefully. Someone reading under a tree, someone teaching their kid how to ride a bike. One guy absolutely losing an argument with his kite. The kite won easily. At some point, a golden retriever walked directly toward us like we were old friends. He said, "This might be the best day of my life." Honestly, fair reaction. The sun got softer around evening, everything turning orange slowly. And for a second, the whole park looked like one of those memories people miss before it's even over. You stretched your arms and smiled at absolutely nothing, which somehow made the entire day feel complete. I've been wearing the same coat since October, the one with the broken zipper I fixed with a pin that works well enough. Most things do. Found a receipt in the pocket from last year. Coffee, one pastry, exact change. I remember that morning now. Didn't think I would. The leaves came down fast this year, faster than I was ready for. One day it was still almost summer, then just this. I walked through the park on the way home. My kid was jumping in a pile someone had raked. The person who raked it was watching, not annoyed, just watching. Same my dad on Sunday. We talked about the weather for 10 minutes. Neither of us mentioned the thing we were thinking about, that its own kind of love. Made tea and forgot about it twice. Found it cold on the desk both times. Drank it anyway the second time. There's a version of me that would have poured it out. The pin on my zipper finally gave up today. Stood outside a shop for a minute. Cold coming through the front. Decided it's fine until spring. Some things you fix, some things you just wear. The coat still keeps me warm. That was always the whole point. Same coat, different year. Same coat, still fits. Still in there. I didn't throw it out. Same coat, same me, mostly.
We walk past 3 cafes before choosing one, mainly because you judge cafes entirely by window sunlight. Strangely effective system, honestly. The first place looked too serious. Everybody typing on laptops like their lives depended on it. The second one smelled amazing, but the music was weirdly aggressive. Third place had plants everywhere, and one sleepy cat near the entrance. Immediate winner. You ordered something with orange in the name. I still don't know what it actually was. Outside the windows, people crossed the street slowly. The weather had that rare weekend feeling, not hot, not cold, just easy. You ever notice how cities become softer on Saturdays? Like everybody secretly agrees to calm down a little. The cafe playlist kept switching between old indie songs and jazz. A dangerous combination, honestly. Makes people start romanticizing their lives immediately. At one point, you leaned back in your chair and said, "We should waste more afternoons like this." Strong statement, fully agreed. By sunset, the whole cafe turned gold. Glasses glowing on tables, people talking quieter. The cat asleep in the exact same spot. Nothing huge happened all day, which honestly made it perfect. Convenience store on my corner never closes. I've tested this without meaning to. 2 a.m., 4 a.m., once at 5:40. Always the same light, always someone there. Tonight it's a kid who can't be more than 19. He's watching something on his phone behind the counter. Doesn't look up when I come in. That's exactly what I needed. I came for water, ended up with 3 things. A chocolate bar I didn't plan on, some brand of chips I've never tried. The water, he scans everything without looking at it. Tells me the total, I tap my card. We don't say anything else. Perfect.
perfect transaction. Convenience store, midnight run. Convenience store, just me and the hum. Outside I eat the chocolate on the steps. Not even hungry, just it was there. A taxi idles at the light for a long time. The light must be broken. A man in a suit walks past fast at midnight on a Tuesday, going somewhere that couldn't wait. I wonder about that for a second, then stop. The kid inside is laughing at something now. I can hear it through the glass. The whole store to himself at midnight. That's not a bad life. I finish the chocolate, keep the wrapper, put it in my coat pocket, walk home the same way I came. The light is still on. Convenience store, midnight run. Convenience store, just me and the hum. The chips were fine, nothing special. Convenience store, still open, always open.
The night has been long and the fog has been deep. A promise the darkness was trying to keep, but the edges of black are now turning to blue. A cold silver morning is breaking on through. I stand on the hill where the world disappears, washing away all the dust of years. The valleys are filled with a river of cloud. The silence around me is heavy and loud. I can't see the houses, I can't see the tracks. The past is a wave that is breaking our backs. But under the mist, the world is reborn, waiting so quiet to welcome the morn. Oh, we're standing on the edge of the dawn, before the long shadow of midnight is gone. The fog is still heavy, but I see a spark, a tiny line cutting right through the dark. Hold on to me before the fog sets us free. A lone winter bird takes a flight in the grave, shaking the frost from its wings as it may. It doesn't look back at the place where it slept, or count all the tears that the midnight has wept. It just flies through the vapor, it disappears high into the blank open face of the sky. My hands are so numb, but my spirit is light. I survived the long chill of the ghostliest night. The mist is now lifting, it's rising like smoke, breaking the spell.
before the fog sets us free. The sun is breaking through. The gray is turning gold. The story of the foggy night has finally been told. But I'll remember the haze. I'll remember the quiet days. Saturday tastes like lemonade somehow. Cold, a little too sweet, gone too fast. The streets were already full by noon. People carrying tote bags and ice drinks. Dogs completely refusing to walk straight. Music leaking out from cafe doors. Whole city felt awake today. You showed up late again. Not dramatically late, just enough to pretend you weren't rushing. Your hair still messy from leaving too fast. Sunglasses hanging from your shirt. Coffee balanced dangerously in one hand. Honestly impressive entrance. We walked toward the river without discussing it first. Feels like we always end up there eventually. A guy nearby was teaching his girlfriend how to skateboard. Both of them terrible, honestly, but confidently terrible. Best kind of energy. You kept stopping to point at random things. Clouds, posters, a tiny bakery hidden between buildings. You notice the world like it's trying to tell you secrets. I kinda like that. By afternoon, the sunlight turned warmer. Everybody moved slower. Even traffic somehow looked relaxed. We bought lemonade from a small stand near the bridge. Too expensive, still worth it. You raised your cup and said, "Today feels suspiciously good." Honestly, yeah, it really did. Raindrops are trapped in the web of the fog, floating like dust in an old travel log. The city is muffled, the sirens are low. Everything moves in the sweet techno glow. I'm driving so slow with the windows halfway down, catching the breath of this ghost-ridden town. The radio's playing a song from the past, a melody made of the things that don't last. The singer is crying about a lost love under a sky with no stars up above. But the static is heavy, the signal is weak, just like the words that we wanted to speak. Oh, there are whispers in the haze tonight, catching the flash of the red traffic light. We are just drifting, we're losing our way, sailing away through the late midnight gate in this foggy night. Everything feels so to the curb where the pavement is wet, smoking a thought that I wanna forget. The smoke and the fog, they become the same thing. A gray silver halo, a delicate ring. We hide in the vapor, we hide from the truth, chasing the ghost of our runaway youth. The windshield wipers are wiping the mist like a cold memory that shouldn't exist, but it clings to the glass, it returns once again. A beautiful sorrow and innocent pain. I put it in drive and I let the car roll deep into the comfort that swallows my soul. Don't wake me up if the morning is clear. I like the world when it's blurry and near. No distant horizons to make me feel small. Just this square minute, and that is all. Yeah, that is all. Oh, there are whispers in the haze tonight, catching the flash of the red traffic light. We are just drifting, we're losing our way, sailing away through the late midnight gate in this foggy night. Everything feels so right. Whispers in the haze, lost in a beautiful daze. The red lights turn green, but I'm staying right here, where the thoughts are heavy and the night is near, fading out into the smoke.
The kettle is singing a low steady hum, waiting for the warmth of the morning to come. Pouring the dark into a ceramic cup, watching the steam as it slowly goes up. I sit by the window, the mug in my hand, looking at a town I no longer understand. The fog has arrived, it's leaning on the glass, waiting for the deep midnight hours to pass. It feels like a friend who has nowhere to go, moving so quiet, so heavy, so slow. We share in the silence, the fog in my thoughts, counting the battles that nobody fought. And it's a long blurry night when you're all by yourself, with old dusty books sitting high on the shelf. But the midnight coffee keeps the coldness at bay, while we wait for the fog to turn into the day, just a sip at a time in the quiet of mind.
a smile that I don't think I wear anymore. The edges are yellowed, the memories fade like the promises that we so carelessly made. But I don't feel bitter, and I don't feel sad, just grateful for the little pieces we had. The clock on the microwave glows a bright green, the loneliest color that I've ever seen. 3 a.m. arrives with a whispering sigh as a lonely night bus goes rumbling by. It splashes the puddles, it disappears fast into the mist of the forgotten past. Maybe the fog is just holding the world like a secret map that has never unfurled, giving us time to just sit and repair, breathing the cool, heavy air. Yeah, the heavy air. And it's a long, blurry night when you're all by yourself, with old dusty books sitting high on the shelf. But the midnight coffee keeps the coldness at bay, while we wait for the fog to turn into the day, just a sip at a time in the quiet of mind. The coffee is cold now, the cup is half dead, but the fog is still wrapping its arms round my head, peaceful and quiet, until the sun opens its eyes.
Ticking away, but the colors of the night are turning to gray. I look through the glass, the streetlights are blind, hiding the secrets we left far behind. The wind whispers low, a cold gentle breeze, moving like ghosts through the shivering trees. I step off the porch, my feet sink in dust. A world made of shadows, a world we can't trust. But there is a comfort in not being seen, living inside of a beautiful dream. The fog is a blanket, it's holding me tight, shielding my heart from the harsh morning light. Oh, we are just playground so still, the cold iron chains sitting under the hill. I remember the laughter, I remember the noise, but tonight all I hear is the loss of my voice. And it's alright, yeah, it's okay. The mist takes the sorrow and washes it away. I count all the steps till I get to the bridge, looking right down from the edge of the ridge. The river is silent, it's covered in white, a mirror reflecting the soul of the night. No promises broken, no reasons to cry, just a soft, quiet lullaby. Time is a river that flows to the sea, but tonight it is frozen for you and for me. We don't need the answers, we don't need the light, as long as the fog keeps us hidden from sight, hidden from sight. Oh, we are just shadows dancing in the mist, chasing the moments that we might have missed. In this foggy night where the quiet things grow, we don't have to hurry, we don't have to know, just fading away into the night, shadows in the mist. We dissolve into the air, no worries tomorrow, no shadows to bear, slowly disappearing.
Midnight clock is striking, but the hands are moving slow. Outside my window, the world begins to blur and go. A heavy blanket of white is rolling through the street, drowning out the echoes of the city's busy beat. I put my jacket on, step out into the cold, into the quiet stories that the midnight hasn't told. The pavement is damp, reflecting yellow light from a lonely street light, fighting with the night. My breath turns to vapor, rising in the air like all the little worries that I didn't want to share. Nobody's around, just the shadows and the haze, losing myself inside this winter maze. Oh, the neon in the mist is shining dim and low, a beautiful confusion where the lonely people go in this fog. into the faded gray. I passed the old cafe. The neon sign is dead. Just a faint buzzing humming inside my head. The mist is getting thicker, hiding all the tracks. No looking forward now and no turning back. Every street light is an island in the dark, a tiny fading spark. I hear a distant train, a low and heavy sound vibrating softly through the frozen ground. It's heading somewhere far, somewhere I don't know. But tonight I am content with moving extra slow. Let the fog consume the corners of my mind, leaving all the heavy days behind. Maybe it's a blessing that I cannot see ahead, living in the blank spaces of the words we never said. We spend our whole lives running, searching for the dawn, but there is something sacred when the light is gone. Yeah, the light is gone. Oh, the neon in the mist is shining dim and low, a beautiful confusion where the lonely people go. In this foggy night, the world is standing still, and for a little moment I think I always will just drift away into the faded gray. Walking through the fog, the city disappears. Just the sound of my shoes on the wet ground. The mist will clear tomorrow, but tonight it stays fading away into the faded gray. Somebody was playing guitar upstairs again. Same 4 chords, same mistakes every time. Honestly getting better though. The windows were open because the apartment still felt too warm. Street noise drifting upward, motorcycles, late buses, some drunk guy laughing way too hard somewhere. Normal Friday sounds. You were sitting on the kitchen counter, eating cereal directly from the box, which somehow looked completely reasonable. At midnight, the sink was full of dishes again. We both ignored them professionally. Your playlist kept switching genres every 2 songs, jazz, indie, rock, something that sounded recorded in a garage in 2008. Perfect, honestly. At one point, the upstairs guitar suddenly stopped, and the silence felt weirdly loud afterward. You noticed it too, because you looked toward the ceiling automatically, then quietly said, "I kinda miss it already."
Funny how people get attached to tiny noises. The train passed nearby around 1:30. Whole apartment vibrating slightly. I've always liked that sound. Makes the city feel alive at night. You eventually fell asleep on the couch, TV still glowing softly. One sock somehow missing. Phone balanced dangerously near the edge. Realistic sleeping posture, honestly. I turned the volume down low, and somewhere upstairs the guitar started again. We forgot why we came here. Halfway through the walk, one of us wanted snacks, probably, or batteries, or toothpaste, maybe. No idea anymore. The convenience store was too bright inside, like every convenience store after 9. Some guy stood frozen in front of instant noodles, like he was making a life decision. Respect, honestly. You wandered toward the drink section, came back holding melon soda. For reasons still unknown, outside the air finally cooled down a little. Cars moving slower now. Streetlights buzzing quietly above us. Somebody nearby was playing old K-pop from an apartment window. The whole neighborhood could hear it. Nobody complained though. Kind of a good song, honestly. We ended up sitting near the river afterward, not talking much. The city sounded far away for once. You started peeling the label off your bottle slowly. I watched boats move under the bridge lights. A couple walked past, arguing softly, then immediately started laughing again. Real relationship energy, you suddenly asked. Do you think people notice when they're happy? I said, probably later. The wind picked up after that, cold enough to make everybody pull sleeves over their hands. And for a second, the whole night felt paused somehow. We bought convenience store ice cream and sat outside without talking much. The pavement's still warm from daytime heat. Cars moving slower now, streetlights reflecting softly on windows. Someone laughing too loudly across the street. Night settling in quietly. You kept peeling the wrapper off your ice cream too carefully, like it required concentration. Honestly, respected the commitment. The city feels different after 10. Less performance, more honesty. People stop pretending they're not tired. A guy in a suit loosened his tie while walking past us. Someone carried instant ramen home like treasure. A couple argued quietly near the crosswalk, then held hands again before the light changed. Tiny human moments everywhere. You asked, do you think people remember ordinary nights? I said, probably the good ones. The breeze finally got cool around midnight. Music leaking softly from your earphones. I only recognized half the song.
still sounded nice. We stayed outside longer than planned, mostly because going home felt too official somehow, like ending the day completely, and neither of us seemed ready for that yet. So we kept sitting there, finishing melted ice cream slowly, watching strangers pass by under convenience store lights, like the night still had something left to say. Halfway through the walk, I realized I wasn't thinking about anything anymore. No work, no messages, no unfinished problems. Just sunlight through trees and the sound of my shoes against the sidewalk. Kind of rare, honestly. The river looked brighter today. Couples riding bikes slowly, old men arguing about something near the benches, dogs trying to fight reflections in the water, weekend scenes everywhere. You were walking slightly ahead of me, holding iced coffee with both hands. Every few minutes you'd stop suddenly to look at something tiny. Flowers near a fence, a cat sleeping under a chair, a cloud shaped vaguely like bread somehow. Your standards for excitement are honestly fascinating. The wind kept pushing your hair around. You complained about it twice, then said, actually never mind, this feels cinematic. Fair point, at some point music ended in my earphones, but I didn't restart anything. The city already sounded full enough. Train passing in the distance, someone practicing guitar badly from an apartment window. Plastic bags moving in the breeze. Normal sounds, good sounds. By the time the sun started lowering, the whole street felt slower, like the day itself got tired. You stretched your arms and asked, wanna keep walking? And without even thinking, I said yes immediately. The second winter in a place feels different from the first. The first one, you're still surprised by things. The second one, you just know. The heating makes a sound I recognize now. Third pipe from the left, always at 2 a.m. First winter, I looked it up. This winter, I just listen. My handwriting on the grocery list has gotten smaller since I moved here. I don't know what that means. Probably nothing. There's a cat that sits on the wall outside. I haven't named it, that feels important. It comes on cold nights mostly. We've reached an understanding. The frost comes in under the door a little. I put a towel there in November. It's still there. The landlord doesn't need to know everything. Second winter, I know this now. Second winter, I know this. I sleep better in the cold. Took me a long time to admit that. Too many summers convincing myself I was a warm weather person. The dark at 5 p.m. doesn't bother me anymore. I make dinner in it like it's normal, because it is now. That's the whole thing about second winters. By the second winter, you stop waiting for something to feel temporary. It just feels like where you live. I bought a better lamp this year. Warmer bulb, wider shade. Small upgrade, real difference. Some things are that simple. Cat was on the wall this morning.
The first bus comes at 5:42. I know because I missed it 3 times. Today I didn't miss it. Small victory, no one to tell. 2 other people on the bus, one sleeping against the window, one just staring at something I can't see. All 3 of us going somewhere early. The driver has the heat on too high, nobody complains. The sleeping woman's bag keeps sliding off her lap. She catches it without waking up. The city looks different at this hour, like it's still deciding what it wants to be. All the lights on, but nobody watching. I like it better this way. First bus, it's just me. First bus, in the dark outside. My stop comes up faster than I expect. I press the button too early, too late, right on time. Step out into cold air. The bus pulls away immediately. The street is completely mine for 1 second. Then a woman with the dog rounds the corner. The dog looks at me seriously. I look back the same way. I get to where I'm going 20 minutes early. Sit on the steps outside, not because I'm eager, just nowhere else yet. The sky goes from black to something not quite blue, not quite gray. There's no word for that color. Maybe there should be. First bus, it's just me. First bus, in the dark outside. 20 minutes early. The sky is deciding. First bus got me here. I left the umbrella by the door again. The kind of mistake you stop being surprised by. Walked home anyway. Shoes are still wet on the mat. The rain doesn't care what day it is. There's something I keep thinking about. It was raining the day I moved in here 3 years ago now. My neighbor hangs her laundry in the rain sometimes. I used to think that was careless. Now I think she just doesn't mind starting over. There's probably something in that. Made soup from whatever was left. Didn't follow a recipe. It tasted like something my mother used to make. I don't know how that happened. Still raining, I don't mind. Still raining, I'm inside. The window is completely fogged from the pot. I wipe a small circle with my sleeve. Outside the street is empty, except one car. Its wipers going, no one inside. I eat standing at the counter again. I keep buying chairs I don't sit in. The soup is too hot, but I don't wait. That's always been my thing. Put on a record I forgot I had. Found it behind the ones I always play. It's better than I remembered. Most things are, if you wait long enough. The rain gets heavier around 10. I turn the lamp off. the kitchen light on, that small yellow square on the ceiling. Good enough. Still raining. I don't mind. Still raining. I'm inside. The shoes are still wet. I'll deal with it tomorrow. Still raining. That's fine.
We stayed outside too long again. Now everything's colder than expected. Your hands, the drinks, the metal bench near the station. Even the air feels tired tonight. A bus passed us completely empty. Kinda sad looking, honestly. You kept scrolling through music without choosing anything. 30 seconds of one song, then skip, then another. Modern attention span behavior. Eventually you stopped on something old. Some indie band we listened to years ago. The kind of song that instantly brings back specific sidewalks, specific weather, specific versions of yourself. You leaned back against the bench and said, I forgot this song existed, which somehow sounded emotional. Across the street, a restaurant owner stacked chairs slowly, one by one, like he'd done the exact same motion 10,000 times before. The city gets quieter in layers. First the offices, then cafes, then buses. But convenience stores never seem to sleep. Their lights stay exactly the same all night. We sat there long enough for conversations to slow down completely. No big topics left, just random thoughts floating around about old apartments, about favorite seasons, about how fast weekends disappear lately. At some point, neither of us said anything for almost 5 minutes. And weirdly, that became my favorite part of the night.
The jacket I put on is one too many. I take it off outside the door. Left it on the step for a second. Went back in for my keys. Forgot what I went back for. The tree on the corner has new leaves. I walk past it every day. Today I actually stopped, stood there for a while. Nobody asked me why. There's a cafe that opened last winter. I kept saying I'd try it. Walked past it again today. Looked in through the window this time. Small things count. The girl inside was writing something, not on her phone, actual paper. I don't know why that made me feel like something was starting, but it did. Almost April, the air can't decide. Almost April, neither can I. Bought tulips from the cart outside the station. Yellow ones didn't have a reason. Put them in the glass, not even a vase. They looked right anyway. Opened the window for the first time this year, just to crack the curtain moved a little. I watched it for longer than I should have. That was the whole afternoon. Called someone I hadn't called in a while. It rang 4 times and went to voicemail. I didn't leave one, just knowing I tried felt like enough. It's that kind of month. The evenings are longer now. I keep noticing it too late. 7 p.m. and still some light outside. I stand at the window with cold rice and watch it go. Almost April, the air can't decide. Almost April, neither can I. There's a smell that only happens once a year, right after rain on dry pavement. Petrichor, I learned the word years ago. Told someone once they didn't care. I still think about it every spring. Walked home the long way, not for any reason, just the short way felt too certain. I wanted one more corner before the day was done. Almost April, the tulips are fine. The curtain moved again. I left the window open. That's new.
At 3 a.m. the noise finally quits. You hear your own heartbeat in the room. Nothing needs doing. Nothing needs saying. Just the dark and you and the sound of the building settling. The ceiling holds the shadows still. I let my thoughts go where they will. No questions left to chase or keep, just a slow dissolve into sleep. The radiator hums a tone that makes the silence feel less alone. I've been awake so many nights, I know each corner, all the lights. 3 a.m. frequency, somewhere between awake and free. Let the signal fade away. Tomorrow's waiting, let it wait. 3 a.m. low and slow, somewhere only tired people go. Not lost, just floating for a while, resting in the dark, no need to smile. A half-dream flickers at the edge. I stand a moment on that ledge, then fall so gently, soft and slow into the dark. I used to know the mind replays the day in parts. The conversations, all the starts of things I meant to say out loud. Instead I said them to a cloud. There are thoughts that only come at 3 a.m., the honest kind. The kind that don't perform for anyone. You either make peace with them here, or carry them into tomorrow. 3 a.m. frequency, somewhere between awake and free. Let the signal fade away. Tomorrow's waiting, let it wait. 3 a.m. low and slow, somewhere only tired people go. Not lost, just floating for a while, resting in the dark, no need to smile.
don't have to hold it back, let the breath come easy. You've been tensing up so long, you forgot how to be slack. There's nothing to resolve tonight, no version of the future you need to fight. Just this mattress, the ceiling, this particular dark. Just the quiet, just the hour, just the smallest little spark of a thought that says you made it through the day. That's enough. That's always been enough. The phone is face down, finally still. The notifications lost their will. The world agreed to pause a beat and gave me back this dark complete. I breathe in 4, I breathe out 8. I stop rehearsing what I'd say. The body knows the way to sleep if you just stop trying to keep AM frequency. Somewhere between awake and free. Let the signal fade away. Tomorrow's waiting, let it wait. 3 AM, low and slow. Somewhere only tired people go. Not lost, just floating for a while. Resting in the dark. You don't have to figure it all out tonight. Just rest. Just breathe. Just be. 3 AM. Frequency fading. Fading.
Clouds roll in and cover up the afternoon. I watch them move and hum a half-remembered tune. The barista knows my order, doesn't ask my name. Some familiar things are perfect just the way they came. The window seat is mine on days like this. There's an art to finding joy in what you'd otherwise miss. A sugar spoon that clinks, the sound of steam, the soft percussion of a Tuesday afternoon dream. I don't need much, just this cup, this chair, the sound of rain on glass and someone else out there. Coffee and clouds, that's all today. A little warmth to get me through the gray. No big plans, no need to explain. Coffee and clouds, I'll be okay. Coffee and clouds, unhurried and slow. The kind of afternoon that lets you grow, not forward or upward, just deeper inside. Coffee and clouds, the perfect place to hide. Someone left a notebook at the corner seat. The handwriting inside looks like it used to beat. I close it softly, order one more drink. Some stories aren't for you, just let them sink. A couple at the table near the door. They're not talking much, but somehow saying more. Just sitting in the warmth of being known. There are worse ways to spend an afternoon alone. I don't need much, just this cup, this chair, the sound of rain on glass and someone else out there. Coffee and clouds, that's all today. A little warmth to get me through the gray. No big plans, no need to explain. Coffee and clouds, I'll be okay. Coffee and clouds, unhurried and slow. The kind of afternoon that lets you grow, not forward or upward, just deeper inside. Coffee and clouds, the perfect place to hide. There's a version of a good life that looks just like this. Nothing grand or documented, nothing I would miss. A Tuesday with no headline, no agenda, no alarm. Just the smell of coffee and the clouds that keep me calm. I've chased enough of things that didn't fill the room. I've stayed up late enough to know the cost of rushing through. So today I'm just a person at a window with a cup, watching all the clouds roll in without the need to look it up. The afternoon grows darker as the hours pass. The last light filters amber through the frosted glass. I should probably head home, but I lingered just a while. There's a certain kind of leaving that deserves a little style. So I sit until the candle on the counter starts to lean, until the music shifts to something quieter and clean. I took the way you took when someone gave you more than food, when the space held you exactly in the middle of your mood. Coffee and clouds, that's all today. A little warmth to get me through the gray. No big plans, no need to explain. Coffee and clouds, I'll be okay. Coffee and clouds, unhurried and slow. The kind of afternoon that lets you grow, not forward or upward, just deeper inside. Coffee and clouds, the perfect place to hide. One more sip, the clouds are staying, and so am I. Coffee and clouds, just for a while longer.
Fog sits slow across the highway before dawn. I left without a reason, just kept driving on. Radios have static, half a song I know. The kind of morning where you let yourself just go. The exit signs drift past like thoughts I never wrote. There's something in the engine hum that keeps me close to whatever I was running from or running toward. Out here on the road, I don't need to keep score. The fog doesn't ask me where I'm going, it just wraps around the road and keeps on flowing. Foggy drive, foggy mind, leaving something unnamed behind. Windows down, the cold comes in, I breathe it out and start again. Foggy drive, early gray, no destination, just a day. The road keeps giving back to me whatever I came out here to be. A gas station glows orange in the mist. The attendant waves, I wave back with a fist. Two strangers in the dark just passing through. There's a whole world living softly that I never knew. The fields stretch out like sentences unfinished. The morning light comes slowly undiminished. It doesn't ask permission, just arrives. That's how most of the beautiful things survive. The fog doesn't ask me where I'm going, it just wraps around the road and keeps on flowing. Foggy drive, foggy mind, leaving something unnamed behind. Windows down, the cold comes in, I breathe it out and start again. Foggy drive, early gray, no destination, just a day. The road keeps giving back to me listen to the shore. No shore nearby, it's just the wind in the trees. But it sounds like water, sounds like something at ease. I sit there for a while with nothing left to prove, just the fog in the morning and the sound of something true. Foggy drive, foggy mind, leaving something unnamed behind. Windows down, the cold comes in, I breathe it out and start again. Foggy drive, early gray, no destination, just today. The road keeps giving back to me whatever I came out here to be. Keep driving, the fog will lift or it won't, either way you're moving.
The light stayed on in the hallway all night again. Nobody remembers whose job it is anymore. The apartment smelled like coffee and fabric softener and something slightly burned, probably toast. You were half awake on the couch, wrapped in that blanket everybody secretly hates, but somehow always uses anyway. Outside, rain started softly around midnight. Not dramatic rain, just enough to make cars sound different. I opened the window for a minute, cold air moving through the room, curtains shifting slowly, city noise getting quieter. The neighbor downstairs dropped something loud, then immediately yelled "Grinchanayo" to absolutely nobody. Strong apartment energy, honestly. You asked me if I thought people change slowly or all at once. Big question for 1 in the morning, honestly. I said, probably both. The rain got heavier after that, tiny reflections forming on the street outside, street lights turning gold against wet pavement. The kind of night that makes everybody a little more thoughtful. At some point the TV stopped asking if we were still watching, which felt passive-aggressive, honestly. You laughed for almost a full minute at that, then suddenly got quiet again. Listening to rain against the windows, listening to distant traffic, listening to a normal night happening somewhere outside us. And before falling asleep, you quietly said, today felt longer in a good way. Tab after tab, the screen is all I see. Empty coffee mug and half a melody. Ideas drifting like smoke through a cracked door. I catch a few and leave the rest on the floor. The cursor blinks like it's waiting on a sign. I've been at this long enough to know it takes its time. Some nights the work comes easy, warm and clear. Other nights you sit and let it disappear. But there's something I keep coming back to every time. This room, this hour, this familiar state of mind. 11 p.m., the city finally sleeps. I find my rhythm in the silence that it keeps. Just me in this moment. Soft light on the wall. 11 p.m., I feel it all. The hum of the hallway, the
glow of the screen, the space between thinking and what the words mean. I'm not behind, I'm right where I should be. 11 p.m., just the music in me. The playlist cycles through the same 3 songs again. There's something comforting in what you can't explain. I'm not procrastinating, I'm just letting the mind untangle all the things it's been carrying for a while. A message left unread, a choice I haven't made. Some things are better left inside the darkened shade. I'll answer it tomorrow when the sun comes back around. Tonight I'm just a person living in the sound. But there's something I keep coming back to every time. This room, this hour, this familiar state of mind. 11 p.m., the city finally sleeps. I find my rhythm in the silence that it keeps, just me in this moment. Soft light on the wall. 11 p.m., I feel it all. The hum of the hallway, the glow of the screen, the space between thinking and what the words mean. I'm not behind, I'm right where I should be. 11 p.m., just the music in me. Maybe I was made for quiet rooms and low blue light, for long and unaccounted for stretches of the night. Not lonely, just alone in the most honest kind of way. Saving up the silence so I have something to say. There's a version of myself that sleeps at 10 o'clock, that answers every email, never lets the dishes stack. But this version's got a rhythm that only comes at night, and every song that comes from here just somehow feels more right. The clock says I should quit, but the beat says otherwise. There's a second wind that only comes when you surrender to the vibe. So I pour a glass of water, stretch my back and stay. Tomorrow's me will handle what I'm putting off today. The window shows a building with a single lighted room. Someone else out there is living in the same late tune. We'll never meet or speak or know each other's names, but tonight we're both awake, and that is somehow more than strange. 11 p.m., the city finally sleeps. I find my rhythm in the silence that it keeps, just me in this moment. Soft light on the wall. 11 p.m., I feel it all. The hum of the hallway, the glow of the screen, the space between thinking and what the words mean. I'm not behind, I'm right where I should be. 11 p.m., just the music in me. One more song, one more hour, I'll be fine. 11 p.m. feels like mine. Rain taps the window like it has something to say. I pour another cup and let the morning slip away. The clock don't rush me, pages turning slow. There's nowhere I need to be, I just let the feeling go. A candle on the counter burning low and still, the kind of morning that just bends you to its will. I used to chase the hours like they owed me something more. Now I sit and let them pass and don't keep score. Maybe this is what it means to finally breathe, to hold a moment loosely, let it come and leave. These slow hours, they belong to me. In the fog, in the quiet, I'm finally free. No alarm, no hurry, just the sound of the street. Slow hours, this is all I need. Slow hours, soft and gold, warmer than anything I've ever been told. The world can wait outside my door, I don't need nothing more. A worn out paperback beside a cooling drink. The world keeps spinning, but I'm sitting here to think. Soft light on the table, dust floats through the air. Some days the best thing you can do is just be there. An old song drifts in from somewhere down the hall. The melody half forgotten, barely there at all, but it lands on something tender that I thought I'd lost. I hold it for a second, doesn't matter what it costs. Maybe this is what it means to finally breathe, to hold a moment loosely, let it come and leave. These slow outside my door. I don't need nothing more. I think about the weeks that blurred and burned, all the lessons that I rushed through, never learned. There's something in the stillness I keep coming back to find, a kind of quiet medicine for a restless mind. So I stay a little longer at this table by the glass, watch the rain come down and let the morning pass. No conclusions, no decisions, nothing left to prove, just the sound of my own breathing and the mood. The second cup goes cold before I notice it's gone. I've been sitting in this feeling for so long. The window fogs a little from the warmth inside, and the outside world goes soft, like something trying to hide. I trace a circle on the glass with one slow finger. Some mornings you just have to let yourself linger. Not every hour needs a reason or a plan. Sometimes slow is the only thing that heals a man. These slow hours, they belong to me. In the fog, in the quiet, I'm finally free. No alarm, no hurry, just the sound of the street. Slow hours, this is all I need. Slow hours, soft and gold, warmer than anything I've ever been told. The world can wait outside my door. I don't need nothing more. Let it breathe, let it go, just stay here